When we first made contact with humanity, we were stunned. After all, it's not every day you discover an entirely new intelligent species within your own territory we thought we knew inside and out. Sure, it was a remote region of our empire, insignificant and underdeveloped, but the sheer volume of radio signals humanity was carelessly blasting into space left our leaders speechless. The answers to how this had happened could wait, but humanity couldn't. They had already deciphered our language and were attempting to establish contact with one of our colonial worlds, which they had apparently been observing for about one of their years. Fortunately, the galactic bureaucracy had a protocol for such situations, typically reserved for a primitive species that had just discovered faster-than-light travel. These species were granted a protective zone of 100 light-years around their homeworld, a third of which was usually empty space, but more on that later. When our diplomats finally made contact with this new species, we were even more surprised by their appearance and behavior. Earth sat at the upper limit of the gravity spectrum, considered feasible for the development of spacefaring technology. In fact, with even slightly stronger gravity, it would have been impossible for humans to achieve orbit, and they likely would have given up like so many other species before them. Unless, of course, another race had taken upon themselves to uplift them. But such acts were rare. Let me explain this for those of you who've had the pleasure of meeting a human. Most high-gravity intelligent species are about half the size of humans and rely on their intelligence and numbers to solve problems and compete with larger predators. This doesn't mean humans were particularly large. In fact, with an average height of about 2 meters, they were only slightly smaller than the galactic average. Yet, humans were remarkably strong, even compared to other high-gravity species, and monstrously strong compared to most galactic civilizations. Additionally, their movements were quick and efficient, almost mechanical, a result of living under such intense gravity. They quickly gained a reputation as clumsy, muscle-bound brutes, a reputation not helped by their seemingly endless optimism and stoicism, except when it came to their past. It was almost endearing to watch human diplomats squirm and blush as they recounted their history of war and conflict. They were so ashamed that some of our diplomats laughed and reassured them that they weren't monsters just because they'd fought a few wars among themselves. This perception was further fueled by humanity's tendency to solve problems with brute force. Their engineers even regularly employed percussive maintenance. A saying goes that the only surprising thing about a human fixing a delicate machine with a hammer is that it actually works afterward. The more we learned about humanity, the more absurd they seemed. They became the butt of many jokes among bureaucrats. Of course, the humans noticed, and our government prepared for the worst kind of retaliation. Part of the reason there were so many jokes was that we were all still a little afraid of these monstrously strong apes. But the humans, to use their own phrase, didn't give a damn. They took it in stride, even sharing some self-deprecating jokes of their own. While this helped dispel some of the fears the bureaucracy had about humanity, it also spawned new jokes. Though these were made in good fun, I assure you, one such joke was that if any species tried to conquer human space, the humans would surrender their homeworld without a fight. In the following years, humanity expanded peacefully within their buffer zone, establishing mining colonies, trade stations, and agreements. Humans proved to be natural workers, with an average galactic intelligence that, while not exceptional, was respectable. Combined with their monstrous strength and seemingly endless energy reserves, they could produce resources and consumer goods like no other species. It seemed the dawn of a golden age for humanity, and we were all happy for them, especially given the high quality of their products. It was a shame, then, that their largest trade deal fell apart. Early in their interstellar trade history, humanity had struck an extremely profitable agreement with the Sakrans, a highly religious bird-like species that had unsuccessfully tried to convert the galaxy. This trade deal was the backbone of the human economy, providing the resources needed to expand their production capabilities. What happened next was a minor tragedy. One of the human leaders was quoted in a sensationalist system-wide publication, calling the Sakrans the Jehovah's Witnesses of the galaxy, and complaining about their incessant evangelizing. While they were excellent trade partners, this comment deeply offended the Sakrans, and their high priestess immediately cut off trade with the godless humans. She contacted her diplomats in the bureaucracy and demanded a trade embargo. When this was presented for signing, we expected the humans to be outraged. This could ruin their economy for years. But, as usual, the humans didn't care. They even apologized for their leader's rudeness. It took nearly 2 decades for their economy to fully recover, even though only one other species signed the embargo, the isolated. Stay away, you vermin. You are not worthy of knowing the name of our glorious empire. Yes, that's literally the name of their empire in our database. No, we don't know why they still attend bureaucratic meetings. Humanity's troubles with the rest of the galaxy didn't end there. As they rebuilt their economy, they were finally noticed by the infinite fleet of the Kargans, with whom they shared a border. It was inevitable that the Kargans would notice them, despite the efforts of other bureaucratic members to keep humanity hidden. For those who don't know, the infinite fleet of the Kargans was a heavily militarized nation that had terrorized the galaxy for centuries. They weren't part of the galactic bureaucracy, nor were they genocidal or expansionist, but they had enough military power to take on the entire bureaucracy and hold their ground. If not win, they had slowly taken over territories they bordered and had been at war with every member of the bureaucracy at some point in their history. Now, this colossus had set its sights on the rising human empire. To the Kargans, humanity was a mystery, but more importantly, an untapped one. By this point, we had managed to keep as much information about humanity's secret as possible. But when the Kargans learned how strong humans were, they were eager to fight them. It was an ordinary day in the bureaucracy when a representative of the infinite fleet of the Kargans burst into the council chamber and formally declared war on humanity. By now, the other races were good enough at recognizing patterns to not be surprised when the humans didn't care. The humans asked for our help to defend their territory, but we refused, not want to draw the Kargans' wrath. We explained how hopeless it would be to fight the Kargans, even if the entire bureaucracy united. The humans nodded, apologized, and left the chamber to make their plans, while we wished them luck. A few days later, as always, a human and a Karg representative were brought before the council to avoid war. To our surprise, the Kargans demanded only 10 light years from the border they shared with humanity. Everyone was stunned by how little the Colossus wanted from a new race, until we realized that humanity's homeworld was within those 10 light years. At that moment, even the Sakrans and the isolated, no, I won't say their damn name, looked at the human representative with pity. We all expected their usual indifference to shine through and for them to surrender their homeworld. As the jokes had predicted, we saw a resignation on the human representative's face as she, too, realized this agreement would cost them their homeworld. We braced for a resigned laugh and a verbal confirmation of surrender. Instead, there was a long, unusual silence, followed by a sentence I've since framed in my office. We, of the Human Federation, find these terms unacceptable. Prepare for war. And with that, humanity declared war on the most powerful military in the galaxy, and they didn't give a damn.